All right, so periodic table of elements. Let's just slice this down a little bit so you'll be able to really comprehend what's going on. All right, so when you learn electron configuration, um, there's a couple of orientations of the table that really tell you where an element is. So this periodic table is kind of like a location device or a map. Okay, so it's broken up. You have you have your S block elements right here, and then you have your P block elements right here, and then you have your D block elements right here. Okay, so as we've already determined before, the vertical columns are your groups. Okay, so this is group 1, group 2, and then it skips to group 3, group 4, group 5, and so forth and so on. Okay, and the horizontal rows, these are your periods, and the periods correspond to the electron shell. So it's kind of like when you see a Bohr model, you have kind of like a planetary orbit where the electron shells are orbiting around a nucleus. That's not quite how it is, but that's just that's just a simplified visual of what's going on here. So you got your first shell right here. That's your first period. You got your second period right here. You got your third period right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the first 3 periods. So you know that the S orbitals have to be filled up first. So you go from S to P to D to F. So you have right here, you got one S. Okay, so you know that S has 2 orbits or 2 orbitals. So you got one S1, so that's 1 electron, and then you got one S2, that's 2 electrons. So this is filled. So therefore, the 1s2 is inert. That's why it's on the noble gases. These are all inert. These group 8 elements, they're all inert gases. Okay, they do not react. And then you have your you got the second period right here. So you got 2s1. You see that? 2s2. All right, so 2s is filled. Then you have 2p. You see this? 2p1, 2p2, 2p3, 2p4, 2p5, 2p6. Okay? So what is 2 and 6? That's 8. So you know that 8 is an octet. Therefore, that element is stable and it is inert. It will not react. Hence the term, hence the name inert gases. All right? Let's go to period 3. You see this? 3s. You see that? 3s. So it will tell you when you're trying to do the electron configuration, the periodic table of elements will pretty much tell you, what to write down. So this is period 3. So this is 3s1, 3s2. Okay, so that's, our s orbital is good, it's satisfied. Now we got 3p1, 3p2, 3p3, 3p4, and so forth and so on till we get to argon. Okay? You see this? 2 and 6, that's 8. Okay, so we got a full shell. All right. Now let's look at group 4 or the 4th period. So you have 4s1. See, this is where it gets tricky. 4s2. Okay, and then you have your D block metals. Okay, so that's why when you're writing the electron configuration, when you get to 4s, you go back to 3D. Okay, so I'm gonna show you on the board what it looks like. But you have 10 spots right here, 10 elements in between your 4s orbitals and your 4p orbitals. So you got 10 D block elements in between the 4s and the 4p. Okay. And the D orbitals can hold 10 electrons. So you see this 3d10 right here, and 4s2. Okay, so the S orbitals are satisfied. So now we got 4p1. You see this? 4p2, 4p3, 4p4, 4p5. Okay, this used to kick my butt. I used to get so confused when I was trying to memorize the electron configuration, but it's quite simple. It really is. Okay. Now, when you get to the 6th period, then you have these F block metals right here. Okay. Now we're not gonna get into that. We just pretty much touched on the first 5 periods. Okay. So remember, after period, let me turn it back. After period 3, then you have your D blocks. So after period 3, you have your 4s. Yes, your 4s orbitals, and then you go back down to the 3D. Okay. So when you're reading in the book, in the text, it's gonna tell you that the third shell has S, P, and D. Okay, but when you're mapping this out, the 4s comes before the 3D, and when you look at the periodic table, you can see why. Okay.